Today's video is a very simple one. One that almost every YouTuber does almost as a rite of passage. At least if you're like an informative kind of guy, you know? So, it's time for my top 10 Legends units currently. Currently. I will just go ahead and tell you my credentials. I play this game a lot. And, I know I did just get back from playing Dokkan for a week, but I've still been playing the game. I've been doing my dailies. I usually get around rank 65 by the end of the season, because I don't play enough to get to rank 70. But all that really means is, I just don't deal with the 14-star teams that often. You get to rank 65, you're still fighting the meta teams, you're just not playing high-star meta teams. So, it's like the limit to the average free-to-play player can get to. Until they played for a long time. Like, I think if you're free-to-play, you played since day one, then you can get to rank 70. But, for me, this is kind of where I'm going to be at for a little bit until I get some high-star characters. But anyways, on to the list. Number 10 is Zenkai Jiren, Gogeta Blue, and Path of Power Goku. I have all these guys up here because they're purple. Pretty much because they're purple. Because these guys they're already decent characters, but because they're purple, they still have value, just in general, just to beat Gohan, really. You have Path of Power Goku, who, honestly, he straight up just carried his campaign, his campaign, and he does have a lot of interesting mechanics. He's just a weaker version of GT Kid Goku. That's why he's higher on the list. But Path of Power Goku definitely is a solid option, especially to beat Gohan. And you can run him on Saiyan or DB. Personally, I run him on DB. Obviously, because I feel like there's better people on Saiyan, but he's there. Gogeta Blue, he has that gauge which will never age out. He also does really good damage. You have to wait till late game to get that main damage dealing potential. So you have to kind of keep him in your back pocket for a while, which does kind of make some contention with Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who also is he's not getting stronger, I don't think, but he definitely is gonna be strong late game too. So it's kind of like a sticky situation of just when to use Gogeta Blue against him. And Zen Kai Jiren is quite literally the perfect counter to Gohan, so he's really up there just because he can counter Gohan. But that's really all I can do. I don't think he's not like he's stronger than anyone else. He just has that one thing going for him. Now on to number 9, the tag Blue Bros, as in Kaioken Goku and Evolution Vegeta. I've been seeing a lot of shade on these guys because they are simply not as strong as any other festival unit. And I can see that too. They are kind of just they kind of got usurped by UI Goku, but they still can cook. You put them on the Gaki setup, they are kind of a selfish character. You gotta build them, you gotta build it for them, but they deserve it. They deserve to be that one guy. Kind of like how you build your Beast Gohan with just him being the center. It works perfectly with Goku and Vegeta. They're long combos, and they have a decent amount of cover too. Their long combos allow them to actually make good use of that time that they're on the field most of the time. They're getting healing, they're getting cover on their gauge, on their green. They get a lot of use. And I've seen the videos, 99 combos. I mean, you're not going to hit that in the average game, but once you get started on them, you're sitting there for a while. Longer than Vegeta combos, definitely. Now, number 8 is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with his Zenkai. He is simply just good. He does everything, essentially. Especially that revive thing. You get that revive thing on, giving him 50% extra damage. That will literally just make him so much more useful. He has 2 ultimates. He's just a balanced character. There's not much to say about him, besides the fact that he's just good. And then, next, number 7 is Pikkon / Gogeta. I have it number 7 because frankly everyone else on here just is better in some way, shape, or form. In Pikkon, he is my favorite LF, just right now, at least in terms of just how I use him, just the LF animation itself. He also is the Gogeta, so that's kind of the main reason. But he really, I don't think, like he's definitely phased out of being like the most important character to use on the Saiyan team. Well, not Saiyan team. It's now just a Sun Family team now, because you're just replacing him with Ultra Gohan on that team now, which is a really big issue for Pycon users because Gohan is a better character overall. But I do think the Pycon team definitely still works because that green card generation and just the disrupt that comes from using green cards is pretty good. And I don't know about you, but the average game I'm getting in, I'm gonna get Pycon's gauge filled up. Most of the time, as long as it's like a good match, I'd say. Like if I don't get unlucky with like an early rush or like a really strong team, I'm gonna get my gauge filled up. So that's a lot of stuff I'm doing to the opponent. They're not gonna like taking all their ki away, taking all their cards, their cards. It's super annoying. It really works well. And then you come back as Gogeta and you're doing a whole lot of damage. And you'd be surprised how much like his blue card will delete HP. Like you'll see sometimes when his blue card is pretty damage because he's fighting a really strong character or he's just a really weak Gogeta. And then you'll see times when his man's just exploding in damage. Like if you see his stats, he has really high stats when he transforms. I mean, obviously he's a revive character. He's gonna have strong stats after, but it works really well because he's a newer character and he's gonna obliterate. I definitely think he's gonna get aged out pretty soon. I won't say pretty soon, but he's gonna age out like most revives. But he's definitely gonna take a slow burn because of his disrupt along with his revive. Now, to number 6. Stutter Apocalypse. Number 6 is Kid Goku, as in GT Kid Goku. This one's a pretty simple one. He is the only counter to 17. That's pretty much it. Because I wouldn't use him for anything else besides countering 17. Because everything else he does is kind of done by someone better. His sniping, Beast Gohan does his sniping pretty well. His tanking, again, he's the only good tank in the game, just straight up. But to be fair, you don't really need tanking when you can just have really strong offense and disrupt. If you have good enough disrupt, I'd say. I won't say that. The defense is something you should have, but it's impossible to have unless you have GT Goku at this point, so I won't expect it in your team. But GT Goku, really, for me, his biggest feature is just countering 17. Now, on to number 5 is Beast Gohan. He is simply a beast. And what's super annoying is that there's another Gohan character out, and he somehow doesn't affect this Gohan. Like, why do you need that many Gohans? Why is it the Gohan Apocalypse? This guy, you already know, he's tanking relatively well. Pre-transformation, once he transform, takes away your advantage. Blue card, color nullification absolutely rocks on any character. Especially if you have that annoying loser setup with Pycon and what's her name? Pan. It's not working. Yeah, that team's not working for my self-esteem. But, you know, just annoyingly broken. He's also a red unit, so he has that plus. Red units have nearly 0 counters. They only have GT Goku to counter them. And even then, Beast Gohan can really just use his color nullification to just obliterate GT Goku. I won't say 1 shot, but probably 2 shot. Just because of that endurance. Maybe. I wouldn't put it past Gohan to just absolutely just stop. And then you have number 4. Number 4 is going to be Ultra UI Goku. He's only at number 4 because, frankly, the other 3 guys are just kind of more useful. And UI Goku got usurped pretty fast, seeing as his main thing of just stalling and putting up his defensive using his his gauge kind of got immediately taken away by Ultra Gohan. They did the exact same thing, except he has a better gauge, and they also have that AoE green card, which is super useful. compared to UI's who just gives him a blue card, not blue card, but a blast card. And that blast card is good, but the thing is, Ultra UI's instant kill combos with just locking someone in and just getting the kill. It's not like it's aged, but I definitely think it's a lot more counterable. Which is weird to say. I guess more like, I don't want to say it's weak, but I just don't think it scales to the other like offensive capabilities these other guys have. Because he has that lock-in, which is going to be really strong. His last guy gets it again. Just like 3 ultimates a game. It's just going to be really hard to get those. But at the same time, you don't really want UI to be last guy, because on his best team, being Saiyan, you would rather have Goku Bardock be the last guys, because they are going to do the most damage. That team really is just doing that much damage. You'd either have it be Goku Bardock, or if I was using the team, I'd have Pikkon die last. Just because Pikkon, I feel like, offers the best chance, since his blue card is also long range, which is just, the way his blue card works is just better, but you've already gone through him. He's number 7. UI, he really is, he's good, he's just not as good as the other guys. And number 3 is, speaking of the devil, Goku and Bardock. Goku Bardock, simply just, yes, high blue card damage, long combos, annoying to deal with that AoE green card, so much cover and obligation, you cannot. I think we can all say we've been through our fair share of just long Goku Bardock combos, so we all know the annoyance. So I won't explain it any further, because I hate that indestructible especially. Number 2, this is gonna be a this is really the big matchup here. Number 2, number 1, and I'm gonna say it right now. Number 2, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which means Super 17 is number 1. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is number 2 for me, because unlike 17, he has counters, as in plural. You run a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and I promise you, I will just run, like I said, Zenkai Jiren, or Path to Power Goku, or Gogeta Blue. And obviously I have to worry about anyone using a UI Goku on Sun Family with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. The thing is, okay, let's just run it down by just team by team. Path to Power Goku, he is in the most trouble here, really, because I don't know what team I run him on, besides just like Saiyan or, you know, DB. Put him on DB, then literally only he will be doing good damage. Well, he'll be the only one that's like doing exceptionally good stuff. But technically, there is Piccolo Jr. to somehow deal with him, because I do believe Piccolo Jr. has a long range blue, which I do think can come in handy with fighting UI, which I don't think is enough, but it's there. And then you have a Saiyan team. Depending on how you build a Saiyan team, really you just need a strong Saiyan. Preferably one that has ways of dealing with UI's gauge. Even that, they can just tank. As long as they can just tank his ultimate, get it out the way, and UI's gonna be a lot easier to deal with. Which really just comes down to who you use. You could use Ultra VB, even though it doesn't really buff Saiyan. You could try and use Vegeta. I wouldn't use that guy, but he's a decent counter, at least for Gohan specifically. Gogeta Blue, same thing, except he looks a lot better. On Fusion Warrior, you're gonna have either 17 or VB to back you up, so you're not gonna be in a worse situation. So he definitely has a better case. And Zenkai Jiren is just a blast-based character who is pretty strong no matter what. And just to say you put him on a Universe Rep team, there's no strong red Universe Rep I can think of at the time right now. But it doesn't really matter, because I think with UI Goku, it's not like you need to have a red for him. Like, he doesn't need a red to counter him. So it's not the end of the world, especially with a strong team like Universe Rep. And let's not forget that you could also be using UI on that same team. Just using UI, and then, like, honestly, you could be using 17 with the protection of Jiren. I think it's enough, because Jiren's really strong. He is really strong. He has a long-range blue card that cannot just be countered. He has, well, I guess if he uses blue card, it can be countered. But besides that, it can't be countered. I think he offers a lot of help to the team. But obviously, my number one pick is 17. My number one pick is 17 simply because the only counter you have, like I just named 3 counters for Gohan, you only have one counter being GT Kid Goku. He is your only counter to 17. His combos are so long, and the only character you have to tank those are going to be GT Goku. And especially in the minute right now, I rarely see GT Gokus, despite the fact that this is the perfect time for him to shine. That's a lie, because Super Saiyan 2 Gohan exists. But that just helps 17 even more. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan only improved the situation for 17. Because all he does is take away even less GT Gokus, leaving more time for 17 to just solo. And even if you do get someone who runs that little guy, that little GT Goku, 17, honestly, this is a bit spitballing, but if you hit that lucky green card hit, which I think is relatively likely considering that GT Goku has, he's only there to tank, for one. He's only there to tank. Which is as simple as just switching out characters, which is ultimately what you want to do anyways. You just want to make a switch. But the thing is, 17 can be run on so many good teams. By so many, I mean like literally 3. Androids, Fusion Warrior, and then you have GT, obviously. I don't think you realize the power there is in just having 17, simply because he has nearly 0 counters. And there's the fact that he can, I think to this day, just one-shot kill anybody he wants to with that green card hit. He hits anyone with a green card, and then he just pops main, that's a guaranteed kill. If he hits the green card, that's a guaranteed kill as long as he has that main ability active. So it's super hard to just deal with that, because it's a one-shot kill. I've done it before. Like, literally any character, they're just dead. Because color neutral, all your keys gone, can't use UI's gauge because I'm just using an ultimate. It's just donezo. 17 to me just seems like the obvious pick. I've fought 17s. I fought Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I fought Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with 17. 17 really just does more damage. I will say this. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is definitely more of a team player in the sense that his teams are better. But 17 individually is just the better character. So I definitely think this is my top 10 list. Number 1 being 17. And he will probably be the best character for a decent amount of time. Hopefully, if they counter Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I see 17 being the best character for months. Probably until Legends Fest. No, Anniversary. Because 17 is just hard to beat.